I mean,
This action will start the process, essentially.
starts it, makes it an effective date, and if you want to make it subject to, I mean, someone could amend it to make it subject to commissioners.
Okay.
But that would be an avenue as well. There's other options too. Ways that there's ways we can reduce other parts. There's other. And also is, some of the other action we're going to be taking here later is designed to give us a stable return to that pension fund. But I will add that,
Do you want to make an adjustment to the motion?
Subject to the financial analysis of the projected cost?
January 2nd. Yeah. I guess Norm's the big one.
Well, there.
Yeah, he's the one that told us $2 million to go into the fund, and if we're going to have to turn around and
Well, you're not complaining it's going to be lower, right?
Pardon me. I'm hoping so.
Yeah.
And
You're not complaining that we're going to have
Jack,
over 20%.
I want to make dang sure the county's not going to spend more money than we really have to. And I may agree with this 100%. But you're the number guy around here, and you get more concerned about numbers than maybe I do. But it comes out of the general fund where 3 commissioners have to decide whether to fund or whether not to. And I realize the benefits. I'm not naive enough to think that I don't realize the benefits of all this. And yeah, it may be Christmas or Christmas Eve, and that. But that's.
Well, that's a legitimate. If I was sitting in your chair, I'd be saying those things, and I'm sure Scott's has expressed them too. Maybe I'm trying to think of a way we could do this. We've done it.
The retirement board has to enact it, and the board of commissioners have to fund it, and that's all part of the checks and balances from the government.
Well, wouldn't it be really Sam Hills if the retirement board recommended it?
Yes.
And the commissioners just said, I don't think so.
Yes.
Well, it'd be the same though as the other boards we sit on.
Yeah.
We've done that before.
And then you have
Prison board could make and the commissioners don't want to.
To the board, or is this, I'm not sure.
the pension board technically enacts and determines the class size, because you've got this retroactivity portion of this that presents the funding
Could be
questions.
subject to the commissioners, majority of the board of commissioners agreeing to fund the new benefit.
And then the question becomes, with the effective date of January 2nd, can that analysis be performed within that period of time? Because you certainly wouldn't want to have an employee detrimentally rely on this action and this recommendation and decide to retire January 3rd and then find out there's not enough money.
Right.
So
Put my commissioner hat on and say, we need the analysis by next week.
And can that be done? In light of Christmas, New Year's, weekends.
Well, if there's a lot of free time, you might as well.
You might as well use it.
I think philosophically, I think everybody...
I'm more concerned about the opposite, though. The employee who anticipates the potential benefit and retires on January 3rd, and we don't give the benefit, that employee has been made aware it's subject to. I'm more concerned about the employee who, this board having expressed openly its support, I think everyone here has been lobbying their legislators, and then doesn't take action. Yeah.
Well, the question becomes, how quickly can that analysis be prepared?
What needs to happen? Call to Norm?
Call to Norm.
Say, Norm, grind these numbers using 1/40th with the person's start date. Has that information just changes 1/60th to 1/40th, and is there a program, or you hit I don't know how he does his job. I'm not an actuary.
I believe it like all things, he can crank an estimate out, and that's the reason we got to be careful here. We're saying, well, budgetary fund, it's going to be whatever he gives us as an estimate, just as his
And let's
contribution.
face it, actuaries are always taught to be extremely ultra-conservative, and it's their job to
And then what number are we looking for? What number is the number that,
funding
the funding
requirement.
number that makes everyone feel
Yeah.
comfortable with it?
See,
I mean,
these are the
that's,
questions
that,
that-
you don't know that.
Right.
Be- You
Therein
know,
lies the rub.
yeah, so you don't know, is $1 million acceptable? Is 500,000 acceptable? What's the acceptable?
No, I mean,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's very subjective.
Once you pass the health department, that date, or can we go back if employees retired before that date?
The effective date would be people that would retire as of that date and after,
Yeah.
not before.
yeah, it wouldn't go back. I mean, the people that have retired.
back.
No,
Right,
it doesn't, you can't pick up.
No.
Yeah. But, so, if you look at a hard number, or that's one thing, but then there's all these other factors that feed into it. Sometimes, when you make a decision, you have the cost,
Yeah.
but what's the quality? I don't know, you're buying something, what's the quality of it? This is the cheapest product, but what is the quality from the provider that you're getting it from? Oh, I'd sooner spend another $1 or $2 and get something better, and that's a discretionary thing that it's like a professional service. You may pay X dollars, but this person over here may be better at what he's doing.
I mean, if somebody I'm not an actuary, I'm going to say this, I'm going to preface my remarks with that. But let's just assume a $20 million increase in the liability in the pension fund. Let's just assume that is the number, okay? Or thereabouts. Using his very conservative 8.33 years, let's just say, for rounding purposes, that would be, the funding requirement would be around $2 million, okay? Additional, of which the state pays $1 million because they pick up the cost of the state-funded program. So we're down to $1 million, and if we assume that we would lower the interest cost, the interest